Today we will discuss about the nested classes. So what is comes under the nested class? The nested class means a class contains another class. That means you want to define a class within another class are known as the nested class. So what is the scope of the nested class? The scope of a nested class is bounded by the scope of its enclosing classes. The scope of a nested class is bounded by its enclosing classes. That means, suppose if we are taking the two classes A and B, if class B is defined within class A, that means if class B is defined within class A, then B does not exist independently of A. If class B is defined within class A, then B does not exist independently of A. So if you are taking any nested class, each and every nested class has access to members. So what are the members we are having? These members are accessed by the nested class, including the private members of the class in which it is nested. So the enclosing of class does not have access to the members of the nested class. The enclosing class does not have access to the members of the nested class. And if I take in the nested classes, mainly you are having the two types of the nested classes. The first one comes under the static nested class, and the second one comes under the non-static nested class. So that we are having the two types of the nested classes. The first one comes under the static nested class, and the second one comes under the non-static nested class. So what comes under the static nested class? The static nested class means what is the class you want to define. At the time of the defining, you must use the static keyword as the modifier. So in that you can use the static modifier for the class. So if you are using the static, it must access the non-static members of its enclosing class through all objects. If you are declaring the static classes, so it must access the non-static members of its enclosing classes through all objects. That is, it cannot refer to non-static members of the enclosing class directly. That means it cannot refer to the non-static members of the enclosing class directly. So the most important type of the nested class is the inner class. The most important type of the nested class is the inner class. So that means a class contains another class. So what is the another class we are having? That is the inner class. Suppose if you are taking the class A, in that if you are declaring the another class B, in that you are having some of the process. And if I declare that a class contains another class. So what is the another class here? This is the inner class and this is the outer class. So this is the inner class and this is the outer class. So the most important type of the nested class comes under the inner class. It has access all the variables and methods of the outer class and may refer to them directly in the same way that other non-static members of the outer classes. So that means if you have taken the inner class, the inner class has access to all the variables and methods of its outer class. What are the outer class members and methods you are having? They must be accessed by the inner class. So that is similar to the what are the methods you want to access this one, in that way it will be accessed like that. So that is the process of the nested class. Okay, now we will discuss about the one example for the nested class. Now this is the example of the nested class. So in that I am declaring the class outer. That means outer class. Within the outer class I am using the one instance variable outer x equal to 100. Then that I am taking one variable x outer x, that is value is 100. So in that I am taking the one method test. In that I am taking the inner equal to new inner. So that means what is comes under the inner? The inner is comes under the another class of this one. That means the class inner. I am creating the another class inner. In that I am displaying the value. So the display means system.out.println and display outer x of outer of x value. So what are the instance variable you are using in this outer method? These values are printed in the inner class. Okay. Now I am creating the object of this inner class. So if you want to create any object, in that case I am using the class name, object, new, constructor. So in that way I am creating the one object inner and I am accessing the function of the display. That means inner class function is accessed through the inner dot display. That means the methods are accessed through the object. So this is the class function. Next I am giving the main function class inner class demo. In that the first one you are creating the main method. The main method is publish static void main string args. So in that I am creating the one object of the our outer class. So outer class outer equal to new outer. So I am creating the object of outer class outer. Now I want to access the method of the outer class. The method of the outer class is the test. So in that outer dot test object dot test. So whenever you are accessing the outer dot test, it will become to the test method. In the test method, first I am creating the object of inner method. So in that it will become called the inner method object, and I am accessing the inner class method display. So inner dot display. Now it will come to the display and system dot println display outer of x. So the outer of x is comes under the instance variable of the outer class. So that means the inner class must access the instance variables and methods of the outer class. So it will become to the value of outer class outer x. The value of outer x equal to 100. So the output comes under the display outer x equal to the value of outer x equal to 100. So the 100 must be printed. So this is the example of our nested classes. The next topic is passing arguments by value and by reference. So what is comes from the passing value arguments by value and reference? That means if you are taking any method, each and every method must have the sum of the arguments. You must pass those arguments. So how to pass those arguments? If you want to pass the arguments, in that case you must use the two types of the passing of the arguments. The first one is comes under the call by value. And second one is comes under the call by reference. So what is comes from the call by value and what is comes from the call by reference? The call by value means at the time of the calling of the method, you must pass the values. At the time of the calling of the method or function, you can pass some of the values. So that is called the call by value. Call by reference means instead of passing the values, you must pass the reference. So in that you can reference means in that you must pass the objects or reference values. So that it comes from the call by reference. So first we will discuss about the what is comes from the call by value. So the call by value means so in that you must pass the values. So in that approach, this approach copies the what are the values of one argument into the final parameters of the subroutine. So what are the copies of the values of the argument into the final parameters of the subroutine. So that means if you are having any changes made to the parameters of the subroutine, have no effect on the argument. That means if you are having any changes made to the parameters of the subroutine, so those are not having any effect on the changes of these arguments. if you are passing any arguments through primitive type of a method, it is passed by value. So that means if you are passing any arguments, then a copy of the argument is made. If you are passing any arguments, what are the arguments you are passed? That passed argument must be copied, and the value must be occurs to the parameters. So that values are passed to the parameters that receives the arguments and who has no effect of the outside the method. So that is the process of the call by value. Okay, now I will give you the one example of the call by value. Okay, now we will discuss about the example of the call by value. So in that I am taking the one class test. In that I am in the one function, arithmetical function. I am taking the two variables I and j. So I equal to I into 2. That means I am multiplying the I value by 2. And another one is I divided by I equal to I divided by 2. Dividing the this j equal to j divided by 2. So in that way I am taking the two variables I and j. Now the main class by value, and in that I am taking the main method, public static void main string arguments. So in that I am creating the object. The object of the class test. So test will be equal to new test. I am creating the object. So now I am passing the values of these I and j. That means I am taking the two variables a and b. A value equal 15 and b value is 20. So these a and b values are passed. Next system.out.println a and b before call. So that means I am creating the object, but I am not calling any function of the class test. So before calling, what are the values of a and b? So in that I am assigning the values of a is 15 and b is 20. So a and b before call is a and b. So that means the output of the statement of this one is a and b before call. A value is 15 and b value is 20. After that I am in the ob.math a comma b. So that means I am passing the ab value through the math function through object. So it will come to that one. So in that I am using the I is assigned to a value, that means 15, and j is assigned to b value 20. Now I am taking the calculation I equal to I into 2 and j equal to j by 2. If you are applying this one, now you can print the values of system.out.println a and b. So that means a and b after call. The after call means in that actually if you are I equal to I star 2 means a star 2, 15 into 2, that means 30. But j equal to 20 by 2, 10. But in that, if you are using the call by value, it will not affect any of the values. So it will give you the values of 15, 20 only. It will not have any changes on these values. So this type of the process is called as the call by value. The next one is call by reference. So in the call by reference, the reference value is passed as an argument. If you are taking any argument in that, you must pass the reference value. So if you are passing the reference value, what happens? So that means in that you can pass the reference, the actual arguments. What are the actual arguments you are having? The actual arguments are specified to the call. So in that this means if you are having any changes made to the parameters, will affect the argument used to call the subroutine. So what are the variables or what are the values are passed? These are affected by the argument used by the subroutine or method. So that it comes under the call by reference. Okay, now we will discuss about what is the example of the call by reference. So now this is the example of the class by reference. So in that I am creating a class test. In that I am taking the two variables a and b. And the one method test, in that I am taking the two variables I and j. And a is assigned to I and b is assigned to j. That means the a and b values are passed to the I and j. And now I am taking the another method, math. In that I am taking the test T. The test is comes under the class. T is object. I am passing the object as a argument. So that means it will pass the reference value, not direct value. In the T dot A is equal to the T A by A into 2 and T dot B is equal to B by 2. That means in that you are multiplying the A value, in that dividing the B value by 2. So this is the class test. And if you are going to the main process, main class object reference, first I am taking the main method, public static void main string arguments. In that I am creating one object of the class test. Test will be equal to new test 15, 20. So in that I am passing the values of 15 and 20. Now I am printing the values of system.out.println ob.a and ob.b before call. So that means I am not calling any method of this one. So before call, the output of this one is comes under the ob.a and ob.b before call equal to ob.a means a value is 15 and ob.b b value is 20. So the values will be printed. After that I am calling the function or method math. So ob.math ob. So I am passing the object. So in that whenever you are passing the object, it will comes under the test row T. In that T dot A equal to T dot A into 2. So that means ob.a value is 15. So that means it will comes under the 15 into 2. So that means the output comes under the ob.a and ob.b after call 15 into 2 means 30. And if you are passing the b value, the T dot b equal to T dot b by 2. So that means b value is 20. 20 by 2. That means 10. So in that it will be print the value. So that means whenever you are in the call by reference, at that time what are the values are passed, the values must be changed depending on the function. But in call by value it will not be changed. So that is the process of the call by value and the call by reference.